Welcome to this episode of Project America TV. As you can see by the title, this is going to be about Kratky Hydroponics, which we'll get to in a minute. If you're new to Project America TV, this channel is dedicated to promoting American-made goods and also promoting good, healthy, organic food, or just good food in general, because, you know, here in America, we're not even eating food anymore. We're eating food-like substances. And also, you know, Project America TV, it doesn't just apply to America. It obviously applies to everybody in the world. No matter where you live, you should look for goods that are made in your country and also high quality, unprocessed food. That's the key. Don't buy that processed crap. So, now, let's get on to the video. Kratky Hydroponics. I am no expert. This is my introduction. This video is kind of a little bit about what I learned, and also I'll show you what I've grown so far. But again, I am no expert. I watched a few videos, went, hey, I can do this, went to my local hydroponics store, said this is what I want to do, here's what I'm going to do, and I'll show you my results. Now, Kratky Hydroponics is pretty simple. When you think of hydroponics, you think of stuff that has pumps and all these plumbing and this and that and the other, because you know you need nutrients in the water, but you also need oxygen in the water. Obviously, just like an aquarium fish need that little bubbler down in there to produce the oxygen in the water, and so do hydroponics. But Dr. Kratky figured out if you leave a little air gap in between the nutrients in the plant, or the net cup, the plant will generate its own oxygen gathering roots all on its own. So you don't need electricity, you don't need an air pump with an air stone in there. You just need some nutrient solution and something to hold it and some sunlight, and you're good to go. So when I started, I was going to do bucket hydroponics. I live in a townhouse. We have no real area to grow in. We just have this open mulch area. So I was going to do mine in 5-gallon buckets, or as it turned out, 3.5-gallon buckets. So it's a little different than some of you might seen where people build these big boxes and they line them with plastic. But I had to do mine in buckets just for room. So I went to my local hydroponics store. I said, hey, I want to do hydroponics. I'm planning on doing Kratky. I'm planning on doing the NFT system, this, that, and the other. I want to start simple. I want to grow lettuce. I want to grow some herbs. I want to keep it organic. It doesn't have to be organic 100%, but I'd like to keep it as close to organic as I can. What do you recommend? And he told me right here, this Botanicare Pure Blend Grow. It's a 3-2-4 formula. It's all natural with some organic ingredients. When you open it, you can smell it. It smells earthy, smells like a farm, you know. And he's like, this is not organic, but it is all natural, and it's an excellent solution, excellent nutrient for lettuce and herbs and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, let me try that out. You're the expert. Anyway, so that's what we went with. And kind of a little side note, I just posted this on somebody's YouTube video. After I started growing it, I saw a video where somebody else was using this Dynagrow, and their plants were just booming. They were twice as big as mine, you know. They were, of course, they were growing indoors. I'm growing outdoors. So I went back. I had to pick up some stuff. I went back and I said, hey, how about that Dynagrow solution you guys sell? And he was like, well, it works good, but he's like, do you want to eat food that is grown in a solution that is blue? Because the Dynagrow, the nutrient solution, he's like, have you ever seen it? I was like, no. He's like, it's blue. He's like, do you want to use it in your food? I said, no, I don't think so. And he just looked at me and with that look of like, I sell it, but I don't recommend it because it's freaking blue. All right. So again, I wanted an organic solution or natural, and I went with that. Now, other thing, very important, I started out without this, and it was a big mistake because I was like, I'm going to use my tap water. The pH should be pretty decent. I tried testing the pH with a pool kit. I found it very hard. And then I just followed the instructions on the bottle of how much solution to use per gallon of water. Okay, big mistake number one. Links in the description of these. I bought these on Amazon. This is a pH. It's a digital pH meter. I bought this about a month after I had started. Like I said, big mistake, because when I tested it with this, I went, whoa, My pH is way off. Because you want to be in a pH of, 6 to 7 area. But my pH solution was way off. This was like 15 bucks on Amazon. And the other thing you need is a TDS meter. And a TDS meter just means total dissolved solids. So you can check how much nutrient solution is dissolving in your water. Because again, I was mixing by what they said on the back. When I tested it with this, my hydroponic source said you want to run about 600 parts per million when you add your solution. When I tested it with this, I found out I was running about 900. So I was able to adjust there. But again, this was like 15 bucks on Amazon. It works very well. Check your parts per million or your total dissolved solids. So I highly recommend buying these two before you get started. And then my plant starts, I did them in this rock wool stuff. And we'll talk about that here in a little bit. I will never use this again. I saw this over on MHP Gardener's channel. Link is in the description. Great guy, very knowledgeable, grows monster plants. He's like, yeah, I do all my hydroponic starts in rock wool. I'll never use this stuff again. It's a waste of money. It's actually dangerous as I sit here holding it. If you breathe this stuff in, it is not good for your lungs. And you use it once and you throw it away. It's a waste of money. It's not very environmentally friendly, even though it is just rock that's been spun down into this wool-like substance. It's not very environmentally friendly. You have to throw it away. It's dangerous. I will never, ever, ever, ever use that again. And I think it was part of the problem I had with some of my plants. So, with that said, it's pretty easy. Get your solution, get something to hold it in. Get your meters here. The net pots I didn't bring down. We've all seen them. Those little plastic cups. You'll see them when I bring the plants in. And you're good to go. You can start some seeds under a grow light. Put them in one of those 10-20 seed starter trays. Instead of using this, I'm going to use cocoa core next time, which is just coconut husk. It's real fine. You can use that, use your nutrient solution, start them in that, and when the plants come out, you can just take the cocoa core and put it back in something, let it dry out a little bit, use it again. But again, I will never use that rock wool. Big mistake. I'm going to go with the little shale stones. Look it up. Everybody, if you're watching this video, you've watched plenty of hydroponic videos probably, so you can get the gist of all the stuff that I'm talking about from other videos, because I'm not going to do it here. So anyways, let's look at the plants and see what we've grown to date. Alright, now here are some of the plants I've grown. As you can see, they're not the best in the world. And don't judge the color by this video, because I'm doing it indoors and I got lights and the white balance set on the camera different, so the color will probably look a little different outside. But anyways, these are some of the ones that I still have growing, because we've actually harvested some and we've been eating delicious lettuce for a few weeks now. But anyways, here's a picture that I took when I first moved them outside. I took them out of the 10-20 tray and then I put them outside for a couple days in the shade to kind of adjust, and then I put them on the deck where they got just a little bit of sun every day, not too much. It's pretty shady right there. But here they are on April 5th, as you can see. Very, very tiny, and they look pretty good. I was really happy with the with how they were going so far, seeing how this was my first time growing them. But as you can see, April 5th, that's the size. And then here we are on May 7th, and these are some of the plants. Some of them didn't survive, some of them didn't do well, some of them did really well. Like I said, we ate some. And I have three different buckets. These buckets here, this one here is a 3.5 gallon, and what I do to get these is I go to my local grocery store, deli, and bakery, and these are the icing buckets that they use, and they actually sell them to us for $1 because they have to wash them and stuff. But anyways, it's a great place to get buckets, but they have these 3.5 gallon buckets. I start off with 5 plants per bucket, as you saw in the picture, and then I thin them out. I've tested thinning them to 2, thinning them to 3, thinning them to 4. I think 3 is a good magic number. But these plants here, like I said, these are the ones that are still growing, we haven't picked on, and they're not doing real good. But the journey these plants have been on was not a great one. I thought I'd get them outside a little sooner than I did, so they went about 4 or 5 days without light, just kind of sitting in the buckets in the kitchen. They've been out in 36-degree weather. They've been out in 40-mile-an-hour winds. So these plants have had they've had a rough journey, but you know, I'm not discouraged by this at all, because I saw other people's videos where they're like, look, 30 days and I got this giant head of lettuce, hydroponic lettuce. Well, most of those people do it inside. But anyways, these here are Paris Island romaine. They're a little smaller. Excuse me, they're a little smaller than some of the other ones outside. I just transplanted these into a 5-gallon bucket I bought from Lowe's. And if you go to Lowe's to buy buckets, they have two. They have a blue one that says Lowe's on the side, and then they have these that state they're food grade BPA free. Buy the white, okay? And that's the other thing. People are like, you can't grow hydroponics outside in white buckets because you're going to get algae. Well, I didn't get any algae. So yes, you can. I did get some brown goopy stuff, but I think it was because I was keeping the rock wool too wet, because these buckets that I get from the deli and bakery, the lid's kind of concave where they stack them all up. So I was having to keep the nutrient level high to where it actually went up on the middle plant a lot more than the other. When I first started, you want to bring your nutrients right up to the bottom of the net pot to encourage those roots to go down in there. And I had to keep it high because the top of the bucket was just absolutely crazy dipped. But you can see the roots. It's kind of weird because this one's really white and these are kind of brown, and the brown roots aren't the healthiest thing, but I can see it up in the rock wool. It looks like it just got a little goopy weird up there. But again, I don't think it's from using the white buckets. I actually wrapped some buckets in plastic to cut the light out, and I found no difference. So if you're going to go to Lowe's to buy them, make sure they're food grade and they're BPA free. Now this one here, again, these roots are a little, you can see a little goopy stuff up in them, but it's up in the rock wool. They're not pure white. The plants are doing okay. This is a combination here, which I know people are going to say don't combine two different varieties. But this Radina lettuce actually looks real nice. The color's real nice. And this Bib lettuce is a little small. Not sure why. Like I said, they had kind of a rough start in life. But I'm happy with the Radina because it's got nice color. It looks like a Radina lettuce should. And over here we have, I kind of lost track of who was who. I kept jumbling them around and I lost the stuff. I think this is a Fresh Heart. I'm not sure. Let's pull them out. You can see nice white roots. It's a little brown up in here again, but I think I got them too wet. The rock wool kept too wet. But the roots are nice. There's not a whole lot of side roots to them. But overall, not too bad. And then this one here is a black-seeded Simpson. You can see the roots look good. The plant, I don't know what happened to these. There's in outdoor growing, there's all sorts of bugs and all kinds of junk down in there. It's great. The black-seeded Simpson were doing really good. They were nice and compact, and they should be kind of a bushy little plant, but it is a leafy lettuce. But all of a sudden, they just got so leggy. I don't know why. If anybody has any input on that. This one's not bad. I've got one that's double the height. It's just all leggy. They just got out of control. I don't know why. They've been in the shade. This black-seeded Simpson, the Radina, they don't like the sun. The Bib lettuce kind of stands it. The romaine, it kind of handles it. But for the most part, the lettuces I grew, which was the Paris Island romaine, the black-seeded Simpson, the Radina, the Fresh Heart, and the Bib lettuce, they don't like to be out in the sun. It just absolutely droops down. And I made that mistake too. I let them get too much sun, so they'd all be wilted down. And then the end of the day, when the sun goes, they'd come back up. So I'm sure that stressed the plants out even more. But anyways, that's my grow. We've been harvesting this black-seeded Simpson. I love the flavor of it. It's a nice lettuce. It grows pretty quick. Again, my growth here is not as good as some of the more experienced growers on YouTube, but hey, it's all a learning experience. And best thing is, I know what went into this, okay? It's natural. I didn't put any fertilizer, I didn't put any pesticides. It's all natural, keeping my family healthy. And the last thing I want to talk about was the Lowe's bucket. When I went and bought them this time, because it's kind of hard to get the bakery buckets. Seems like everybody in town's going after them. they have a different lid that's a little flatter on the top than your 5-gallon bucket lid. So I'm buying these now just to keep it a little flatter, and I might even go to styrofoam to keep it totally flat, so I can keep the when I start new plants, I can keep the water level nice and even and not have one plant that's, you know, a ½ inch, 3/4 of an inch in the water just staying totally soaked all day. So anyways, very fun stuff. Again, easy to do. My results weren't great, so I'll update you on my second grow. I've got some more starts going here, and then once I move them in the buckets, I'm going to document it a little more and see if I can change some things around. Now that I got all the meters and everything, I can watch them a little better, and hopefully my results next time will be a little better. But still, this stuff, very delicious. Grew it all from seed. Very little money involved in growing this lettuce. And I couldn't be happier with the results, other than I want one of those big lettuces too. But next time, takes a little time to learn. Next time, hopefully it'll come out a little better. So subscribe to the channel, share this video, and don't forget, feed your family quality food that you know where it comes from, okay? The lettuce in the grocery store travels thousands of miles. Not very healthy. Either buy it local or grow it yourself. That's the way to go.